Hey, I am back and I finished my guitar, pretty much at least. So before I dive in, I just want to talk about the mod in general, what I learned, the process. I think it goes without saying for anybody who's thinking of modding a guitar, and anyone who has experience might reflect this. You're definitely going to do more to it and spend more on it than you intend to or expect to. I definitely did that in this project, and I'm sure many modders out there would agree with me. But, you know, it's a fun process, and you get some sort of reward by doing it yourself. So I wouldn't recommend heavy mods for beginners, obviously. That's kind of, you know, it's pretty obvious. But, you know, as you're getting into your guitar, and you learn a lot about your instrument when you choose to take on mods yourself and do stuff. And even if you don't do as good of a job as, say, like a professional, right, if you take it to a shop, you're learning something, and, you know, next time you'll do a little better, or you'll know not to do this, etc. Alright, anyway, so most noticeably, you can probably notice that this faux binding just really brings out the beauty of this guitar. I fucking love it. Oops, shouldn't swear. Anyway, it was not easy to do, and it was not a clean process. I made a mess everywhere. It was just all over the floor. And just getting a smooth cut is not it's not as easy as it looks. And in the end, I had to go over like the tiny little edges with like a little fine pen just to make it all even. But I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna get like a slightly like a poly finish and just kind of coat this, because it's probably not good to leave the wood exposed. Plus, because I'm going to be playing this a lot live, and be sweating all over it, so might want to take care of that before I, you know, call this thing complete. But other than that, you know, it's pretty much finished. Yeah, so the binding went well. I like it. I had to actually stain it with coffee a few times. It was way too bright. I didn't like it at first. It was just kind of like, it looked really unnatural. So now with a bit of like a coffee stain, it just really, it kind of reminds me of a Les Paul Custom, and that's what I was kind of going for with this. I also popped out this pickup selector for a little cream one. Thought that kind of added a nice thing. I also had to coffee stain this one too, because it wasn't quite matching the wood. I swapped the pickup out, as I said, to a 57 Classic. Did the soldering myself for the first time. Didn't do a great job, so I'm probably going to have to take it to a guy to fix it up a little bit. But it works for now. I had to actually switch out the bridge saddle, like flip it, because when I set this guitar up, I'm using like way heavier strings. And I had the saddles cranked as far as they could go, and it still wouldn't intonate properly. It was a little bit flat still. So I had to literally pop out the saddle and reverse it to get a bit of a better angle. But, you know, once I did that, everything intonates properly. Onto nut I already did before I did the last video. Same thing with sanding the back of the neck. Same thing with the locking tuners. But I got two new cool things going on here. So firstly, I got my locking tuners in place there. They help quite a bit, you know, just popping strings on. Especially when I'm using the String Butler string tree. This thing is really helpful. I've definitely noticed a difference since I've been playing my Les Paul. It stays in tune very well. Like, I would literally pull this thing out of the case perfectly in tune, which I don't think like ever really happens on a Les Paul unless it's like you were to sit there and tune it right before you put it in the case, pull it back out as carefully as you can. You know, it's just not really like something you expect too often. So it was quite a nice surprise. I'll do like a playing test and everything so you can hear the difference of both like the pickups, the setup, all that stuff. Yeah. But overall, I'd say very fun mod to do. It was very worthwhile, and I'm very satisfied with the results. And I'm not a professional at all. I'm far from that. So I'd say if I could do it, most of you guys can probably do it too. Alright. you.